Greetings, it is I, the alcoholic audio engineer, coming to you from lovely, scenic, heavily overcast Paju City, South Korea. You might be able to hear the sound of the rain outside the open window. 'Tis the monsoon season, and this summer's monsoon is not as severe as some that I have lived through in the past, but today is a rather heavy day, and that's fine. I'm not using the AC, aka the aircon, known in Korean English Konglish as aircon. Just because, well, the sun's not out, so it's not baking hot, and it is humid. But energy bills are going up here as everywhere else. Not nearly as bad as in other countries, but people still here complain about it because Koreans don't know how good they have it still. But yeah, energy has gone up, so I'm trying to do my part to save on the electric bill. Yeah, we can thank our ancient Babylonian death cultist overlords for that. You know, their big power machinations. They're yeah, but you know, they're just minions themselves of our probably alien, interdimensional alien overlords. But I digress. So reviewing the last lesson, I noticed that my the focus, the locus focus of my wave editing lesson was hidden behind my camera window in the lower right hand corner here. There's always something in it. So, before we get into tracking the tom-tom, I don't know why as a kid we always said tom-toms, man. Listen to the tom-toms. You know, be cruising along the Lake Highway, listening to Led Zeppelin. Oh man, check out the tom-toms. Thunder. Nice. Nice, as the Koreans say. Listen to that. That's cool, huh? Who knows, maybe we'll get some thunder into our song. You know? If it keeps going, I'll track some. I will. Yeah. Tom-toms, man, listen to the tom-toms. We didn't say sick back then. Sick meant, you know, you had a cold. You're under the weather. Mom, I can't go to school today. I'm sick. Not that my mom cared. She was quite something in terms of her her isms.
Too much stuff.
What? Oh really? Yeah, well, you said you like it that way. You want some more? Go ahead. I don't need that much anyway. Coffee. El doppio. I think that's what il doppio. Espresso with a dollop of cream. That's the way I like my espresso. I almost said espresso. Espresso. With a dollop of cream. Heavy cream. There's the apartment announcement that comes several times. They have speakers in the apartments here. And they, you know, little neighborhood announcements. Scolding us for small infractions. We don't have HOAs here. We have the Qualishu, the management office. And, you know, we just get several times a day. We get very polite, mild, motherly scoldings for how we've handled our garbage and waste and all that. Other little things, you know. Lock up your bicycles. Yes, thank you, Mom. Yes, Mom. What can I say? It's a Confucian society still. Okay, so it's going to be a different kind of podcast. We've got ambient noise, and I'm probably going to be sweating a little bit. But anyway, yeah, I'm going to repeat that wave editing lesson because I hid it from you inadvertently, but still. So, really quick. It's not that I have anything in particular to fix, so I'm going to unfix something. Excuse me. Let's go into snare. All right, so we're going to be adding a track today, and we're not going to really be working with these other tracks, so I'm just going to tuck them away, give us more space for our new track. But for the wave editing, I'm going to make this, I'm going to enlarge this, magnify it, stretch it out. There are the individual snare hits. So, yeah, let's just, for the sake of demonstration, let's just say that this one right here, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, holy number 7. Let's just say that this one is, a few milliseconds off time, and it's a little bit late, so I want to nudge it to the left, right? It's coming in a little late. Left is a little earlier, because time moves left to right. And, wow. I'm going to have to track that. That's, okay, right after I finish this, recap of the waveform editing lesson. So, and this does get, I'll redo this again later in another context. But anyway, this is the skinny on how you do it. So I want to move that waveform left or right, in this case left. I select it using my left mouse button. Left click, hold down the button and drag. Make a selection, just like you would in a word processor or on the internet, selecting a paragraph or whatever. So that beat is selected. Make sure you get the whole envelope, as we say. All right. Sometimes you got to be really precise, as I said last night. In some cases, you got to, precision is key in some cases, and you want to get right up on the transient there. The transient is that first. That's when the waveform jumps, and you want to go right past the decay where it's right down to flatline again. Okay. Don't need to be that precise right now today, but let's just say we are. All right. So there is the. There it is. It's selected. Now I could go to the top of the track, and where the mouse cursor becomes the 4 arrows of a compass, I can left click and drag like that, left or right, and then release the button, and there it is. Control Z. But oftentimes the amount that we want to move it is really small, really tiny, so the mouse is not practicable. And in that case, we go to Process menu up here at the top, File, Edit, Views, Insert Process, Nudge, left 1, right 1. That's the least amount of nudge. Left 2, right 2. That's medium amount. Left 3, right 3. That's the biggest nudge. So say I want to nudge it left 3, click left 3, and boom, right. And it's an exact number of milliseconds or whatever. I can't remember what. But anyway, that's how you do it. Simple as that. Okay, Control Z and fit project. All right. And once again, I don't plan to work with these. All right. And I'm not going to sit here tracking and waiting for the thunder to Well, more? You're going to steal more? Okay, go ahead. Go ahead. No, I've had enough. I'm amped. Go ahead, take it. She's decided she loves my espresso doppio. I think it's doppio. Espresso with a dollop of cream. So, that's okay. More caffeine than I needed anyway. I've got my my tobacco flavored vape. It was to go with my coffee. It's actually a cigar tobacco flavor. Why am I even mentioning that? Okay, yeah, and I can. We're not going to work with any of that. In this one, we're going to track. We're going to track a tom tom. Why did we always say tom toms? Drummers and guys that know, they just say toms. The toms. It's a tom sound. So, for my tom sound, I don't want a cardboard box. Ideally, I want something made of wood. That's going to give me the closest approximation to a real tom. What is a tom? What is any drum? It's a box, as I've mentioned. It's just a cylindrical box with what's called a head, a drum head, a membrane that you can tighten or slacken, thereby adjusting the pitch and other aspects of the envelope. Okay, so long-suffering Mrs. came home, and she tends to clink and clank around. I had planned to leave the door open while I did this, but I can't have that. For sound effects, I could have that, but we're not doing sound effects. So I'm going to shut the door. Means I'm not going to get the breeze, but Onward Christian Soldier. Onward Christian Soldier. I think that's a song. Yeah. There we go. There's a tom sound. And that's clipping the OBS input. That's clipping the podcast software input for show. We're going to go back out here. Still clipping, yeah. But that, you get the idea. Oh, even that's clipping. Sensitive mic. Over here. There are basically two toms in this guitar, which I never play, but I keep around for sentimental reasons and for, things like this. I'm going to hold it on my lap so that I dampen the strings. I don't want any sympathetic resonant sounds from the strings. I want just the wood sound. I'm even holding it down on my, right? I'm even kind of like deadening it with my forearm here. Now, so the deeper tom sound is in the middle. Actually, I'm hearing a string there. Yeah. Hold it right there. And up there in the corner is a higher tom sound. Now, oftentimes toms are played throughout as a part of the groove, right? There'll be kick, snare, and maybe, a tom and a ride will be part of the groove. Crashes, I'm not a drummer, so, I might misspeak here, but I think like crashes are for fills, mostly. Crash cymbals, those are for fills. What is a fill? A fill, F-I-L-L, a fill is a flourish that a drummer does, usually when, like you're going from the signal marker, we're going from the chorus into the verse. We're going from the verse into the chorus, or the verse into the pre-chorus. Now we're going into the bridge. Or the singer is singing a particularly important line. it's a flourish for emphasis, or it's a marker of some kind, a fill. And some drummers, they're just fill crazy. They just do fills all the time. So it kind of defeats the purpose of a fill. Some drummers are so fantastic at it that you don't mind. They could just do it. They could just all they could do is fills, and it would still be awesome. Like Neil Peart. He could but we're going after something stripped down and basic. Our 4 on the floor is snare, kick and snare, baby, kick and snare, and we're not doing any cymbals. Cymbals are in my humble, they're the most overdone part of the drum kit. I've got a story about this. I'll tell it someday. I recorded a big album in a big, huge wooden Buddhist temple hall, a Buddha hall in a Buddhist temple. And long story short, I built a standing drum kit, and I used native traditional Korean drums and a big Buddhist dragon drum. I built the stands for them as a standing drum kit, and the drums had rivets around them and ropes on the sides and other things to play. Right? I didn't want cymbals. I didn't want any cymbals in the recordings. And the drummer came down on the bus from the big city. Temple was out in the countryside. Drummer came down, and I walked him in. I said, "There's your kit," and he just about fell on the floor. He's like, well, "I got a stand? Yeah. Where's the kick? That's the dragon drum. Where's the cymbals? Those cymbals. There's rivets. There's other shit you can do. Just find something else to do. When you hit cymbals, hit something else." And he did it. So, no cymbals. Our 4 on the floor groove is kick and snare. Nothing wrong with it. Nothing wrong with that. And we're not gonna put toms into our 4 on the floor. Toms are for fills. That's it. These are the limits that I'm setting. It's useful to set limits. Stravinsky, without limits, I can do nothing. Something like, or who knows? Who knows who said what? History is all bullshit anyway. Don't get me started. All right. Somebody said that. It's true. There's great power in limits. Great. So, this is not unpremeditated, but it is unrehearsed. So I haven't rehearsed what I'm going to do or exactly where I'm going to do it. Just I'm going to do fills with a tom sound, maybe two tom sounds, and I'm going to put them in at the changes, from verse to chorus, chorus to bridge, bridge back to verse back to chorus, and probably at the end of the intro, between the intro and the first verse. That's what I'm going to do, at least attempt to do. I'm going to demonstrate the principle, and we're going to see if I'll pull it off. All right? Yeah. So, I guess I am going to expand these a little bit, right? Not that, the guitar, right? And I'm going to stretch it out a bit. This just this tells me, that's where the intro ends and the verse begins. So this is where I'm going to track the first tom fill. And first I'm going to rehearse it, right? So first I'm going to set my levels. First I'm going to, insert audio track. There's my new track. I'm going to call it Toms. And I'm going to drag it wider here All right. Because I want access to the buttons and the meter. Arm it, and I've got. Do I have signal? No. Look, no bouncing green bars. I don't have signal from my microphone. Why? Because I was futzing around with the audio interface. Cakewalk is currently listening to the audio interface. Preferences, audio interface is line, M audio black box. So unselect, microphone, Titan Studio Pro. Speakers, Titan Studio Pro. Okay. Now I've got input signal from the microphone. Cakewalk is wonderful that way. You don't have to deal with Nuendo was it Nuendo? Steinberg Cubase. Particularly awful with things like that. Once you know how to do it, it's no big deal. It's just figuring out how to do it. All right. Clip. Obviously, clip. All right. So, settings. Obviously, once again. Settings. I am admin. My name is admin. I am your host. System. Sound. Okay. Input. Microphone. Device properties should be set at 90. Okay, it's set at 85. I thought I set it at 90. I did set it at 90. And there must just be some kind of like automatic gain adjustment in Windows 10. I'm not gonna lay this personally at the feet of Bill Gates, although much could be laid personally at the feet of Bill Gates, the medical expert, Bill Gates. Farmer Gates. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so I'll just leave it there. Why the hell not? I'm not going to fight Windows right now. Advanced sound options. So OBS, that's podcasting software, set at 90. My levels look okay there. Let me see. Let me get close to the microphone again. And yeah, that should. Yeah, okay. I'm not clipping with my voice. Cakewalk is at 100. Obviously, that's way too much. And since I armed the track for recording, as I do this, the volume of my voice is going to go down for you. That's just the way it is. I can't help it. I'm going to have to raise my voice a little bit. Hopefully, I'm not wrong about that. I'm not clipping on you. Clipping on you. All right. Let's go back and level checking it. It's still clipped. Oh, clipped at 0.0. Didn't actually clip. Now I'm really whacking it. And oh, wait a minute. Wait. Okay. Well, that's like, is that acting like a hard limiter? Like no matter how hard I whack it, it's not going above 0? Or am I could be in the middle of a brain fart. Okay. Back up to 100 in Cakewalk. Alright. Okay, so at this stage it doesn't tell me how much I'm clipping. I guess if I start recording, it's going to tell me how much I'm clipping. Interesting. I never noticed that before. I guess after I record and I hit playback, it's going to tell me how much I'm clipping. So you can hear the goddamn clipping, but nothing's telling me how much of it there is. You see, I've got blind spots and all this. It's the blind leading the blind. I admit that. You know? I don't know why it's not telling me like how many decibels over I'm clipping. I don't know why that is. I thought it did that, but apparently it doesn't. Yeah, I'm not perfect. I'm in no position to start like a master class on Cakewalk. I'm just here to help you, get going on your own path of learning and discovery. So don't fault me for my blind spots. I'm just here to help, and I'm not perfect. So what I'm not going to spend any more time puzzling over this. I just know that I'm clipping, and I want to obviously go back to. I'm going to take Cakewalk and bring it all the way down to 50. I don't really want to go that low. 51. I like odd numbers. And let's just see if I'm still clipping. I'm getting way off axis from the microphone. Still clipping. Damn. Well, what if I go to fucking 0? Sorry to curse. Just I'm easily irritated. It's one of my failings. I'm just going to 0 just for the hell of it. God damn, even then. Even at 0, I get input signal. What up with that? What up with that? Even at 0, I get input signal. I don't know. I don't have all the answers. I don't. Some things still mystify me. All I know is I just don't want this clipping like that. I don't want to see red while I'm tracking this. So, am I gonna go all the way to 0 in Cakewalk? I think I'd rather go back to device properties at input. Oh, well, you saw it. I didn't do that. I didn't fucking take it from 85 to 100. It was at 85, wasn't it? Okay, either there's something I'm doing that's directly or indirectly leading that. I don't know. I haven't figured it out yet. I'm going to take, this is my first input stage from microphone to sound card. I'm taking it down to 70. All right. And now I'm going back into advanced sound options where I can zero in on Cakewalk. That's at 100. I'm taking that down to 70. Okay. We're going to see if I'm still clipping. Off axis to the microphone, I might add. Hopefully I'm still... Let me see what I look like in OBS. You should still be able to hear me just fine. All right. Still clipping. Jeez. Yeah, that's just a hell of a thing. What if I go back to, and there's perfectly logical explanations for all this. I'm being histrionic right now. I admit it. Okay? This is not manly behavior on my part. Okay. Input volume all the way down. On the first input trim, and I'm still getting signal. And what if I do both? I turn, so that, again, this is where the microphone hits the sound card. And this is the next stage. This is into Cakewalk, and what if I and now my volume level in in the podcast software is way down, but still audible. Now what if I turn Cakewalk all the way down? And now, you can still hear me. I'm lost. But I'm not clipping. I can whack that as hard as I want, and it's peaking around minus 12. I'd like it to peak higher than that. What if I go back to 50 in Cakewalk? Clip. I still can't believe that I'm at so 0 can't actually be 0. That's the only logical explanation. 39, because I like odd numbers. Clip. Clip. All right. 25. -1, -5, -5. Get a little further away. -0.5, I mean. Okay, that's what I'm going with. Even though I don't understand it, I can't. Now, I actually, I don't want to cut out the tonal characteristics of this box. All right, so I'm more in line with the axis of the snout. I'm more in the snout of the microphone. I like to say snout. It has a snout. This is not your typical large diaphragm condenser USB mic. Most of them are what's called side address. This is, it's a snout. All right, that's peaking at -0.2. I'm not going to hit it any harder than that. And I think you can still hear me, even though I'm having to yell a little bit. Sorry for the. Actually, I'm not sorry, because this is the kind of shit you're going to deal with. You know, it's part of the deal. Okay, so now I'm going to rehearse. What am I going to do here? Might as well hit the input echo button. There we go. So I'm going to start here and something like that. I clipped. After all that, I clipped. All right. Fine. 19. I like odd numbers. All right. Looks like we're safe. I've got horrible timing hitting things with a stick. That's why there's waveform editing. I make no apologies for it. Let's go back and here. I want to get ready. What am I going to do here? Like that. There's a better one. If I had two rubber mallets, I don't want to use a raw wooden. This is the Baudrain stick. I don't want to use that because it's too sharp, and the attack is too sharp, and I don't want to damage the finish on the guitar. This Korean gong mallet is just too. It's too woofy. I want it to sound like a tom. That sounds like a tom. Okay, so I'm gonna try to track that, and I may go back and do something I like better, but this is all for purposes of demonstration. So here we go. Track is armed. I'm hitting the record button. So there's a fill. Let's listen back to it. You know what? I forgot. Yeah, there's a workflow thing here that I could have. Okay, so there are times. Well, I'll do that when we track backup vocals. Yeah, we'll do that then. There are times when you just want to duplicate a track where you've already set. It's kind of like the same reasoning for doing a bus. You just want to, you want to set it once. You want to set the plugins and the other. You want to set the Pro Channel once. You don't want to go back and redo all that manually. And so there are times when you just want to duplicate the track, delete the clip within the track, and just use the same track settings that you used for another. All right, so I'm going to do that now. First, we're just going to go back and listen to it, see if I got the timing remotely right. Yeah, that's acceptable for now. I might nudge the first hit. So first, I want to come back and bring my levels back up. Right, so I'm not going to go in and do all the fills for the whole song, for this tutorial. You know, what would be the point of that? It's just to show how it's done, and then off the camera, I'm going to go in and do all the other fills, and they'll come back, and I will, you know, and I'll do all the pro channel settings and plugins and all that shit off camera. Focus, AAE. Where were you? Oh yeah, I'm going to bring our levels back up. Cakewalk has to come back up. There we go. But what's going on here? Because as far as I know, now I'm speaking real soft. So what the hell happened in my microphone device properties? How can it be so loud? It's all the way back up at 98. There's some kind of auto gain shit going on here that I don't understand. I need to turn off that input echo. Yeah. There's something logical going on here that I just don't understand. It's probably there for your own good. It's probably there for my own good, and I'm just too much of a hard-headed moron to understand it. I always try to give things the benefit of the doubt and maintain at least a pretense of humility. Although I find this really fucking annoying, to be honest. But that's irrelevant. My feelings are irrelevant. Yeah, so. Yeah, that's fine. Right. I even got both tom sounds in. That first hit, a little bit late. Yeah, why not? I want to nudge that first hit. I'm going to nudge it left 3. 2. I'm going to nudge it left 2. Okay, select. Oh yeah. Okay, so I'm not hidden behind myself. This is not hidden behind my studio cam this time. I checked. Hey! I've got to remember to pat myself on the back here and there. I remembered. I learned from my mistake. Knock on wood. Process, nudge. Let's go left 2. Boink. Okay, you saw the nudge. And let's just, there's no precise count here. We're just, how does it feel? Say be it. Control Z. I'm going pre-nudge for now. Actually, I just did that to reiterate and reinforce the introductory waveform editing lesson. I think I pretty much nailed it. So, let's zoom out again. And I guess I could stop it here. We're already at 39 minutes and 9 seconds. But, what the hell? Let's just go ahead and, how are the levels on that? Yeah, it could come down a little bit. So let's go to, and we're going to bus it into the drums bus. So let's go to console view, and I'm going to widen this here because now we're officially up to a 5-track project. We've left the 4-track solar system into the interstellar space of beyond 4 tracks. Yeah, 4 tracks is more like near Earth orbit, right? We've left near Earth orbit. We can now begin traveling toward the moon. So, let's look at what happens to the master level when that tom hits. All right, peaked at -2. We peaked. Look at that. Oh yeah. Hang on. Just learned. I've got to. I disarmed the track. Now it's going to show me green bar levels here. Ready? Okay. No. Yeah. Okay. So good. It peaked at -2. I'm going to wait to level it to see, what happens with it when I set the compression EQ and all that. But I am going to go ahead and send it into the drums bus over here, sends. That's under our FX rack, Pro channel, FX rack, sends, drums. All right, let's listen to it again. Now that has to be leveled down. That's way too in your face, isn't it? So toms, I'm going to take that. Let's start at -12. Let's go all the way to -12.1 because I like odd numbers. Still a little bit too prominent, but I am going to EQ it. Well, let's take. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, there. Oops. -6.9, 69. Yeah. I'm still 14 years old. At a certain level of my being. -17. Yeah, there we go. That's starting to sound about right. It's a start anyway. It's a start. So, yeah. Well, why not? Just to reinforce and reiterate our workflow process here, click on it so you see that the console strip is set is snare. Click on toms. Now it's toms. I go up and I hear that rain. Now I show my Pro channel, and let me see. Let's start with. Last night I said, in my effects rack, I often put EQ before compressor. You can see that in the Pro, Pro, what is it called? The Pro channel. Compressor comes before EQ. It's just it depends on what you're trying to do, and the more you understand what these things do on an individual level, the better qualified you are to make those calls. And because what are you doing putting EQ before compression, man? You don't know what you're doing. And they'll give you reasons for it. Because reasons, man. And you're like, yeah, I'm aware of those reasons. And I respectfully beg to differ. Because I have other reasons for why I want to do it different. Okay, I am going to do a video lesson tutorial on what chain of effects makes life easiest. I think that's what it's called. That's a mnemonic for yeah. So I'll do that at some point. But for now, in Pro channel, compressor comes before EQ in the signal path. I could change that. I can drag compressor down after the EQ, but this is the default setting, and I'm not going to mess with it. I am going to go down and set my console emulator to Neve. Warm with rich low end. And so EQ, I'm just going to go with tom settings if they have them. Tom presets. Let's see. We've got, let's see, CRISPR, house music, overheads, hi-hat. Hi-hat is the, if you don't know, that's also integral. Is kick, snare, hi-hat is actually the very stripped down. And with the kit, that is the basically the most stripped down 4/4 groove on a standard kit. Kick, snare, hi-hat. Hi-hat is the kind of the double cymbal with the pedal on it. You use the pedal to, there's an upper and lower cymbal, like a clamshell kind of thing, and it does this. Right? You can keep it closed and just use it as a, yeah, you know what I'm talking about. That's a hi-hat. Kick, kick, kick. So there's no tom setting. So what am I going to do? Use something else. Reduce subsonics and DC offset. I'm not going to explain what DC offset means. I don't even fully understand it myself. That's really technical. I read up on it. It's really technical. It's beyond my ken. Beyond my ken, as we used to say back when even teenage miscreants in rural Oklahoma knew nice turns of phrase like that, even if we didn't use them amongst each other, in mixed company, teenage company. That's beyond my ken. That's out of my wheelhouse, man. Anyway, that's what it does. It basically these frequencies, 80 hertz and below. Mostly we don't need them. They just they kind of muddy up the sonic space. There. They can be filtered out of most things. And we don't want them in the tom sound. Don't need them, don't want them. There's some other shit going on up here. Doesn't really matter. Let's hear it. Yeah, sounds good. Compression, we're just going to go with, let me see. Drum, snare, kick, overhead, snare. I don't really want to go with the kick. Snare, overhead. Let's go with overhead. Well, always change it later. Well, that really made it. That really quietened it, didn't it? So, what happens if I go back to my volume slider and I level it up? Maybe it'll sound cooler once I can hear it better. Yeah, it doesn't really sound all that different to me. What's going on here? I thought compressors are supposed to make things louder. Yeah, sometimes they do right away. Sometimes, they just sometimes they give you the ability to increase volume without clipping, but you do anyway. Not sure I'm vibing with that. Let's go drum bus warm, even though it's not a bus. Yeah, that's more my. I want more of the attack. I want more of the. Yeah, that other setting just kind of killed the timbre, sucked it dry. Still a little bit too loud. But I'm going to keep that. I'm going to try it on ratio of 8. I'm going to try it on a ratio of 12. Let's go with 8. And There's all kinds of compressors. All right. And I don't think I really talked about this during the tutorial that was, actually had compression in the title. I don't think I really talked about this. There are so many different kinds of compressors. There's some compressors with lots and lots of controls and parameters that you can adjust, and some of them, I'll be showing you one fairly soon. Some of them are, if you don't know how to use them, if you don't really know what you're really doing, they're just unusable. You won't be able to achieve a useful result. And then some compressors are just two knobs. Some compressors are just one knob, man, like that Finisher Micro. It's like, yeah. It takes all kinds, man. In every in every scene, you've got your, it just takes all kinds. Some guys are gonna say, she actually did take all of my coffee. She took the whole cup. She's going to be up all night. She's sensitive to caffeine. She's going to be up all night. Well, then, I don't have to, if I decide to, I don't have to do that late night radio thing. Anyways, yeah, those, there's nothing wrong with a two-knob compressor. It's actually, if you don't know what you're doing with compressors, it's actually really nice to have a good look. The MXR Dynacomp. Just so you know, I'm not pulling stuff out of my ass. The MXR Dynacomp. You guitar guys. Pedal junkie. Guitar pedal junkie. Pedal board freaks. Like, oh, yeah, man. Yeah, MXR Dynacomp. This guy, yeah, he does know. He knows yeah. I'll show it to you.
Greetings and
shit.
Welcome to this new channel that I just
God, I gotta re-record that. That can be a headache. Not so in Cakewalk.
Korea, just about
Jesus.
5 kilometers south of the Korean border. I am
God.
Former heavy.
Oh, shut up!
Long abuser.
Pause. Okay, it's a good thing I paused it. I had a minor fit of temper. I know it's. I hope it's funny. Just, God, I'm really irritable. That's why it's a good thing she took the rest of the coffee. Because, that's a good thing. Although I could use a nicotine hit right now, but I'm not gonna. Right. So I wanted to show you MXR Dynacomp. So where's my? Okay, here's my browser window with way too many tabs, and caps lock is on, of course. Images MXR Dynacomp. There it is. Classic legendary pedal. Any pedal junkie has had one. And, the real purists, they go after the original from like the 70s, I think. And it's two knobs. Output and sensitivity. Output is output. It's just output. Sensitivity is like all the other. I'm clipping. So what's going on with my levels? Probably Windows has gone back in and all right, device properties. I'm at 90. What was I at before? I can't remember. Advanced sound options. OBS 90. Okay, so I shouldn't bellow, 2 inches away from the microphone. So all the other things that the compressor does, all the other parameters are just like they're all, the circuit is designed to sort of tweak everything it wants a certain way in one knob setting. And it has a certain sound that is much favored by, a lot of guitarists. So essentially it's a one knob compressor with an output, adjustable output. That's all it is. Right? So this is a digression, but it's a worthy one, I think. Because this has got input, attack, release. Attack and release are your, most compressors have an attack and release knob. That's how quickly the compressor clamps down on the transient, and how quickly or gradually it releases its grip, its clamp down. Okay, and then input and output. The dry wet is the compressed signal blended with uncompressed signal, and then ratio is another thing. So it gives you a few things to tweak, but some compressors are very, very simple, and they're good. They're fine. Don't let anybody tell you not to use them. They're too, don't let, they're, everything can be, not everything, most things are useful if you know how to, if you have any sense, a lot of people don't have any sense. Anyway, back to the Tom.